4 years ago, my boyfriend and I spent Christmas week at his family's old cabin in Whitefall, Alaska. I'd never been there before. He'd grown up visiting every holiday season until his grandmother passed away when he was 14. After that, the family stopped going. The cabin sat empty for 12 years. "Why now?" I asked when he suggested the trip. "My parents are finally selling it," he said. "I want to see it one more time. I want you to see it." I should have asked more questions. Before we get into this story, make sure you're somewhere safe. And if you enjoy real, disturbing stories like this, subscribe now, because these only get worse from here. We arrived on December 23rd, just as the sun was disappearing behind the mountains, all 20 minutes of daylight Alaska gets that time of year. The cabin sat at the end of a logging road, surrounded by snow-covered pines. It was bigger than I expected. 2 stories, wraparound porch, intricate woodwork along the eaves. "My great-grandfather built it himself," Marcus said as we unloaded the car. "Took him 3 years." The air was so cold it hurt to breathe. Our footsteps crunched through snow that came up to our knees. When Marcus unlocked the front door, it groaned open and a wave of stale air rushed out. Inside, everything was preserved exactly as his family had left it. Furniture covered in white sheets, Christmas decorations still in boxes by the fireplace, a calendar on the wall frozen on December 2011. "They were planning to come back that year," Marcus said quietly. "My grandmother died 2 days before Christmas. After that, nobody wanted to celebrate here anymore." The cabin had good bones, hardwood floors, a stone fireplace that dominated the living room, high ceilings with exposed beams. But there was something else. Something that made my skin prickle the moment I stepped inside. Mirrors. They were everywhere. Not just normal mirrors, antique ones, dozens of them covering nearly every wall. Some were full length with ornate gold frames. Others were small, round, clustered together like eyes. A few were so old, the silver backing had corroded, turning the glass black in places. "I forgot about these," Marcus said, looking around. "My great-grandmother collected them. She was obsessed with mirrors, said they brought light into dark spaces." I walked up to one, a massive rectangular mirror near the stairs. My reflection looked wrong in it, too pale, too still, like it was waiting for me to move first. "Why are there so many?" I asked. Marcus shrugged. Family legend says she thought mirrors trapped memories, that if you looked long enough, you could see the past. "That's unsettling." "That's family," he said with a weak smile. We spent the first night unpacking and trying to make the place feel less like a mausoleum. Marcus built a fire, I hung some of the old Christmas decorations, faded garland, a dusty wreath. We opened a bottle of wine and tried to pretend everything was normal. But I kept catching movement in my peripheral vision. Every time I turned to look, it was just my reflection in one of the mirrors. Just me, staring back. Around midnight, I woke up to the sound of whispering. It was coming from downstairs, soft, rhythmic, like someone praying or chanting. I shook Marcus awake. "Do you hear that?" He listened. "Hear what?" "That whispering." "It's just the wind," he mumbled. "Old cabins make noise." But I knew the difference between wind and voices. I grabbed my phone and crept downstairs. The fire had died to embers, casting dancing shadows across the walls. The whispering was louder down here. It seemed to come from everywhere at once, from the walls, from the floor, from the mirrors themselves. I walked to the big mirror near the stairs and stood in front of it. My reflection stared back. Then, it smiled. I didn't smile. I wasn't smiling, but my reflection's mouth curved upward, slow and deliberate. My heart slammed against my ribs. I stumbled backward, tripped over a chair, and fell hard on the floor. The sound echoed through the cabin. Marcus came running down. "What happened?" "The mirror, my reflection, it moved without me." He helped me up, looked at the mirror. "It's just glass. You're tired. It's been a long day." "I know what I saw." He wrapped his arms around me. "Let's go back to bed. We'll figure it out in the morning." But I couldn't sleep. I lay there in the darkness, listening to the whispers that never quite stopped. If this story is already making you uncomfortable, you're not alone. Leave a like so I know you're still here. And Let's keep going. The next morning, Christmas Eve, I searched the cabin while Marcus went into town for supplies. I needed to understand what was happening, needed to find something that would explain the mirrors. In a storage closet upstairs, I found a leather journal. The handwriting inside was delicate, old-fashioned. It belonged to Marcus's great-grandmother, Eleanor. The first entries were normal, notes about the weather, recipes, daily life. Then, about halfway through, the tone changed. December 3rd, 1968. The mirrors are speaking again. I can hear them late at night when Thomas is asleep. They show me things, memories that aren't mine, faces I don't recognize. I think they're trying to tell me something. My hands shook as I turned the pages. December 15th, 1968. I saw her today, the woman in the mirror. She looks like me, but older. She was crying. When I reached for the glass, I felt cold, so cold it burned. Thomas thinks I'm losing my mind. Maybe I am. December 20th, 1968. The mirrors are doors. I understand that now. They don't reflect, they absorb. Every person who's ever looked into them is still there, trapped in the silver, watching, waiting. I can feel them pulling at me, wanting me to join them. The final entry was dated December 24th, 1968. They're coming through tonight. I can see them gathering in the reflections, all the faces pressed against the glass. I don't think I can stop them. If anyone reads this, don't look into the mirrors after dark. Don't let them see you seeing them. The journal ended there. I heard Marcus's truck pull up outside. I shoved the journal in my jacket and went downstairs. "Everything okay?" he asked, carrying in bags of groceries. "Yeah," I lied. "Fine." But that night, I told him everything, showed him the journal, read him Eleanor's warnings. He was quiet for a long time. Then, my grandmother never talked about her mother. We always thought Eleanor died of natural causes, but the family would get weird whenever anyone asked specifics. "What if she didn't die naturally?" I whispered. "What are you saying? What if the mirrors took her?" He laughed, but it sounded forced. "That's insane." "Is it? Look around. Does any of this feel normal to you?" He couldn't answer. That night, Christmas Eve, the temperature dropped to -30, the kind of cold that freezes breath mid-air. We kept the fire roaring, but the cabin still felt like a freezer. Around 11 p.m., the whispering started again, louder this time, more insistent. Marcus heard it too. I could see it in his face. "What's it saying?" he asked. I listened. The words were just at the edge of comprehension, like a language I'd once known but forgotten. Then I heard my name. Emma. Clear as day, coming from the mirror by the stairs. I walked to it like I was in a trance. I couldn't stop myself. Marcus called after me, but his voice sounded distant, underwater. I stood in front of the mirror. My reflection stared back. But behind me, in the glass, the cabin was different. The furniture was older, the decorations were from decades past. And back there, barely visible, was a woman, Eleanor. She was elderly, thin, her eyes hollow. She raised one hand and pressed it against the glass from inside. I raised mine and pressed back. The glass was ice cold. Then I saw the others, dozens of figures standing behind Eleanor, all of them pressed against the glass, all of them reaching towards me. My reflection mouth moved, but the voice that came out wasn't mine. "Let us out." I tried to pull my hand away. I couldn't. It was stuck to the glass, frozen there. The cold spread up my arm, into my shoulder, crawling towards my chest like frostbite. Marcus grabbed me and pulled. We fell backward onto the floor, and I heard the glass crack, a long, splintering sound that echoed through the cabin. The mirror fractured into a spiderweb of breaks, but it didn't shatter. Behind the cracks, the figures were still there, still reaching. "We need to leave," Marcus said, "right now." We ran for our coats and ran for the door. It wouldn't open. The locks turned, the handle moved, but the door stayed shut, like something was holding it closed from the other side. We tried the windows. Same thing, sealed shut. We were trapped. The whispering turned to screaming. Every mirror in the cabin began to crack simultaneously. The sound was deafening, a chorus of breaking glass that seemed to come from inside my skull. Then I saw them. Hands pressing through the mirrors, not breaking the glass, passing through it. Pale, translucent hands reaching into our world. "The journal," I screamed. "Eleanor said don't look into the mirrors after dark." "It's too late," Marcus shouted. "We already looked." The hands multiplied, arms followed, then faces beginning to push through the silver surface. Dozens of people crawling out of the glass, all of them wearing expressions of hunger, of need. Eleanor came through first. She moved stiffly, like someone who'd forgotten how to walk. When she spoke, her voice rattled. "Thank you for looking. We've been waiting so long." We ran upstairs, locked ourselves in a bedroom, pushed furniture against the door. But the room had a mirror too, a small one on the dresser. And in it, I could see Eleanor standing behind us, inside the reflection, smiling. "Mirrors are doors," she whispered, "and you opened them all." I don't remember everything that happened next. My memory fractures, like looking through broken glass. I remember Marcus breaking the bedroom window. I remember the bitter cold rushing in. I remember climbing out onto the roof, then jumping into snow that was so deep it swallowed us whole. I remember running through the woods in the darkness, the cabin burning behind us. Marcus had knocked over a lamp in our panic. The fire spread fast through that old, dry wood. I remember reaching the road just as dawn was breaking, those precious 20 minutes of gray light. When I looked back, the cabin was gone, just a blackened skeleton against the snow. And in the remains, I could see them, dozens of figures standing in the ashes, watching us leave. They didn't follow. They couldn't. The mirrors were gone. We never told anyone the full story. Marcus reported it as an accidental fire. Insurance covered the loss. His family never asked many questions. I think part of them was relieved the cabin was finally gone. But it didn't end there. Last week, I was cleaning out my closet and found the jacket I'd worn that night. In the pocket was Eleanor's journal. I'd forgotten I'd taken it. The last page, the one that had been blank, now had new writing. "Mirrors are everywhere. Shop windows, phone screens, car windshields. Every reflective surface is a door, and now that you've looked, they can always see you. We're still waiting, Emma. When you're ready, just look a little longer. We'll be there." I've covered every mirror in my apartment. I turn my phone face down. I avoid windows after dark. But sometimes, when I catch my reflection by accident, I see them standing behind me. Eleanor and the others, still reaching, still waiting. And one day, I know this, I'll look too long. And when I do, I'll join them on the other side of the glass. If this story stuck with you, subscribe for more real horror stories like this. New stories every week. Lock your doors, turn off the lights, and I'll see you in the next story.